All right, we're back. I guess I'll really explain this game again for those who missed it earlier. So hi, I'm Scrublord. The game is Minit. It's a neat little indie game. It's essentially an adventure done 1 minute at a time, similar to old 2D Zelda games, with more of an emphasis on solving puzzles rather than doing dungeons. And the category I'm going to be doing is 110%, which essentially requires collecting every single item in the game. I'll explain each item as I get to them, but this also includes 19 coins, which just gets 2 items later. And yeah, I'm ready for countdown. All right, get started. And here's the sword. Oh no, it's cursed. And there we go. So we're going to start real quick by getting this coin. It's the quickest one we'll get. And the ticking sound you hear is actually me taking a death warp, and that's going to be used quite a lot in this run, mostly since a lot of these items are kind of out of the way, and resetting to the death warp, or resetting to the checkpoints, which are usually at the center of areas, are the faster way to go. So we're going to get to this first instance of a dark cave here, and it's normally not supposed to be this dark, but I skipped getting an item called the flashlight. Okay, so I got that one, which lets you see in those rooms. But the flashlight's a little out of the way, so we're gonna just be I just have the rooms memorized. I'm just gonna power through them and use a few audio cues like I did there, and I got stuck. Whoops. Oh no. I try to use audio cues, okay? And we're gonna try to just get through these caves because I think I'm a little. What's happening? Okay, I don't know where I am. This is not supposed to be this bad. Whoops, controller disconnected. Going strong already. Nice. What is happening? Okay. Is that it? No. Oh, this is horrible. What is happening? Yeah. This. Okay, so how is this working? Is there supposed to be a pot? Yeah, there's a pot there. Okay, I got it that time. No, I didn't? What? This is not going as well as I hoped. Normally this room does not give me trouble. Are we good? Yeah, there we go. Finally! Alright, and then finally we're going to get to this area here. So the area we just started in is the house area. We only needed a few items from there because essentially the real bulk of the items that we want for the first chunk is going to be in this desert area. And one of those items that I'm talking about includes the running shoes. And what the running shoes do is exactly as they sound. They speed up movement a ton. But the running shoes are in the shop and cost 7 coins. So before we're able to do that, I'm going to get my coin counter to 7 by solving a few of these puzzles. Like this one, I'm just going to be waiting in the quicksand. Normally these puzzles, there's a ghost house in another area, which gives you hints to solve these puzzles. But yeah, I already know how to get through all of them. And I picked up this watering can before. We're going to use it here. It's one of the few times it's used. And we're going to bring it over here to the secret temple. There's 4 puzzles all around. This is the first one. We're just going to get through here without getting hit. If you get hit, the end gets blocked off. And you get a coin right here. Very nice. And then after that, we're 2 away, and the shop's right over to the right there. But before we do that, we need 2 more coins. Luckily, they're just right here by the shop. And once we get them, we're able to get the running shoes, and that'll significantly increase the movement speed. Because how the running shoes work is that once I walk for a little bit, I'll start picking up more speed. And now we're going to go over here. We're going to hit this tentacle. What the tentacles do, we have to hit 8 of them in total. And once we hit all 8, we'll be able to get an item in the secret temple. And then right there, I did a bunch of screen transitions. Because what that essentially did is, this desert that I'm in is an endless desert. And the game expects you to come across that ghost, the sword thrower ghost, by just exploring the desert. And I died, after I beat the ghost, I got the sword thrower, which will let me throw swords. And then I died in this room right here to set up another puzzle later. And now I'm going to be heading down to this lost person because, I don't know, they need help. He's thirsty. So we're going to give him a little spray of water. He'll be fine, don't worry. And then go down here. And we're going to be going back to the house area because we got a few useful items. Oh, there he is again. Saved him. Nice, happy. And we're going to be picking up this gardening glove. And what the gardening glove does, it lets us hit these trees and destroy them. And now we're going to kill some crabs because they had it good for too long. So we're just going to massacre them. And yeah, there's 3 more up here. Once we clear off these crabs, gonna enter this house right here. This is actually a bar. And this guy's gonna give us coffee because he didn't like the crabs either. And once we have that, we're gonna head over right here. And like what the coffee does, lets us push these boxes and grab this lighthouse key. And whoops. Next, we're going to go up here and get some boat wood because if everyone remembers the guy we saved earlier, he actually has a boat, but gonna give him some boat wood to fix it. He's right over here. Hello, give him the boat wood. It'll take more than a minute for him to fix that, so we're gonna ignore him for now. Go over here and finally pick up the flashlight, so these dark caves aren't a problem anymore. Got the flashlight so we can see them. And then now that we got that finished with, we're gonna go back to the boat guy, and whoa, his boat's done. So now, we can take his boat and take a nice stroll, nice trip. This nice boat, very pleasant. And another tentacle right here. That makes 2. We're gonna need to get 6 more to get that item, which and the item that I'm talking about is the turbo ink, and it's really helpful in the run, and I'll get to that later. But for now, we're on the third main area of the game, which is the hut area. And we're gonna start this off by getting this basement key, which is on top of that really long tree. I don't know what I was doing up there, and grab that checkpoint really quick. And then this island right here, just filled with a bunch of puzzles. We're just gonna that one you just hit those 2 spots exactly, and that solves that puzzle. And now that we got that done, we're going down to this puzzle. The answer is left, right, done. And then since we got the basement key, we could access the basement now and go to this teleporter puzzle. I already know how to get there. Get that, and solving those 3 puzzles activates the teleporter. And what that allows us to do is to teleport between all the main checkpoints, which is very helpful. It lets us get to areas really fast because right now in certain areas, I can't have access to much because I need other items to access those items. But now we're going to be heading to the next area, which is the hotel area. I just picked up the press pass there. And what that does is it only has one purpose, which is to activate a shortcut that I'll get to later. That item actually used to be the camera, which was like, oh, a pretty neat thing. You could take pictures and it gives you a custom URL. You could view the photos, but that's actually slow. And so the devs actually gave a speedrun patch of the game, which changes it to the press patch, which is much faster. And right now we're going to go through the process of gathering all these hotel guests. As you saw, I got the first guy earlier. He comes out of the water when there's less than 10 seconds left on the clock. This guy, you just have to not kill and kill all the other bandit guys. To get this guest, we have to get his wallet because he dropped it somewhere. And I have no idea where it is. Just kidding, it's right here. I'm gonna grab that. And grab this heart while we're on the way. Gonna get a few more of those later on. For now, we're gonna go over here, get this next guest, which is in this tree, and we're gonna cut down these trees because when he tries to run away, since he can't run away to any of the trees, he just plops down and we just rescue him, I guess. And then for the next guest, we're gonna need to pop these bombs, and the only way to do that is to throw the sword at them and get this frog guest. By hitting this lever, it'll fix the bridge, and now he could cross back. And then this final guest is right there. And then now we're gonna go all the way up here and get these very useful flippers. This basically opens up many other items in the game, and it's just very helpful overall. And then, so yeah, and then right now I'm gonna be heading over to the factory and wait in this line, but since we're antisocial, we're not gonna go near any of the people. We're just gonna wait over here. This is an important part of the game. We gotta wait in this line, and it's not moving, unfortunately, so we're gonna be here a while. But if for those noticing in the upper room, there was a guard off to the right. He actually gets out of the way if you have the camera or the press pass. And since I had the press pass, he was out of the way. So we're going to be able to get that area later. Oh, look, I got a coin. All right, nice. Whoops. So yeah, now that we got that done, just going to take a reset there to reset the clock and go to this area that I was just talking about. Hit this next tentacle, and we're going to pop this generator here. That's essentially to set up the final boss, which comes much later. Since it's right there, it's just a good chance to do it now. And we're going to go back to the desert and not get this checkpoint, because the sole purpose of us being here is to activate this teleporter. So that'll make it so that we could visit that desert teleporter from any other checkpoints. And we're going to go back here, die again to keep setting up that puzzle. That puzzle essentially requires you to die in that room from starting in all the 4 major checkpoints. We're going to be getting that done periodically, basically. But right now, we're just going to be picking up a few more items, on the way. And including this island down here, which seems like it's in a weird spot, but this guy who talks really, really slow tells you how to get there. If I go into any of the other screens around here, then there'll be sharks. The sharks insta-kill, so we don't want that. Since we got to this island, we get to hit that tentacle, pick up this coin, and get to the next set of items, which is over here in this pot. Gotta hit a few times. Pretty sturdy. And we get to this neat little area, like the sewers. And then to access the upper part, I gotta just kill all these bats. And another coin. But wait, there's another one. That one's a bit harder to find. I remember it took me a while to find that in my casual playthrough. Alright, but now we're gonna go down here. This next area is pretty annoying. There's a shark here, and like I said earlier, the sharks insta-kill. And how they work is that they follow you. He's in a really bad position, so I hope I don't die here. Yeah, they follow you unless you're on land. So I was able to get that tentacle. That's all we needed. And now we're gonna go back to the hut because there's one more tentacle in this area that I have not gotten to yet. And it's down here. The reason I didn't do this earlier because I don't have the flippers. I needed it to get there. Now that we have that done, we're going to go back here, to the desert, because now we have 7 tentacles, and we're able to get this ink very soon. The last one's actually right up here. So we're going to hit that. And get this turbo ink, which is very helpful. What that does is it increases sword speed and has a neat little side effect of instantly giving running speed. So I'm going to be using that plenty. And right now we're going to go back here, do a bit more puzzles, which includes killing these bandits 3 times. And since we have since our sword's really fast, it makes this part really go by really quickly. Yeah, and once, ooh, yeah, that's good. When they group up, it's really satisfying to just hit them all. And the coin landed off screen. That is unfortunate. It happens. It happens sometimes. I've not had that happen in a while, but unfortunate. Just means we have to do it again. And then before we leave, we're gonna pick up this bone here. I know you saw it earlier, but we're actually gonna take it over here. And for those with a good memory, they would know that there's actually a dog in this house. We're gonna give the dog a bone. Gives us a heart, pretty adorable. And now we're gonna keep going. So before I was talking about the factory area, and now you have to do some stuff to activate the final boss there. This is what I'm doing now is a few of those steps, which is deactivating these conveyors. For this first one, I just need to push 2 boxes, and this essentially just deactivates this half of the conveyor belt. And then for the other half, I just have to get to the other side. Gonna hit all these switches. And then go down here. So now that we've deactivated with conveyors, most of the final boss work is done. We just have to do a few more things. Picked up this coin here because it's quicker. And trying to remember now where to go. Okay, I remember. Yeah, sometimes it's there's just a lot to remember. But yeah. Oh wait, wrong. No, not quite there. We're gonna go down here. We're gonna go back to the conveyor spot because there's actually another item that we need in this area, which involves pushing these boxes, in the other way. And over on the right there, there's going to be another box. We're going to need to push that all the way to the left, break that box open. This actually has an item in it called the grinder. And what the grinder does is it allows us to just destroy boxes with their sword. And I'm just going to use it right here immediately. This is the only time I'm going to be using it to just access this area, get the coin, and then get to this next kind of secretive area. And I'm going to get to the reason why this category is called 110% soon. Because at the end, there's actually like this pipe maze here. It's going to take a bit for me to get through, but whoops. I know the path, so I just need to go around here, go down, and over in this area is going to be the trophy room. And this is the only part where there's RNG because one of these trophies is fine to collect, but the other ones aren't. And the one that is okay to collect is not shiny. And the reason, like I said before, the reason this is 110% is because the trophy gives that extra 10% completion. But now that we got that, we're done with that. And so we're going to go over here, pick up this coin. We're just getting basically the last few items at this point. There's just a few more that I need to get. Whoops, I hit the dog there. Sorry, dog. Yeah, like I said, there's just a few more items we need to get, including this heart here by growing this plant. And then we'll be good for getting to the final boss. So yeah, another one of the last things, another one of the last things I need to do is die in that checkpoint again. That's the final checkpoint I did that from. So finally able to access the northern part of that temple. And all the way up here, I'll be able to find a coin. And not quite done yet though, because we haven't been in this south part of the temple, which is a really long running section. Like most of the other items in this game, you need like another certain item to collect it. In this case, it's the running shoes. Without the running chute, it's actually impossible to get all the way to the end here. But yeah, the running chutes just, whoops, make it very fast. And we'll get there with enough time remaining. It's gonna look scary, but definitely gonna make it. Right, there we go. And then now that we've done that, we've gotten, whoops, most of the items. I always forget this item. It's just, it's on the way to the final boss. It's really easy to forget, but luckily I got it. So we're gonna just get that checkpoint because we're gonna go all the way up here, and finally, because we got all the other items that we needed, we get to finally beat this final boss, which is cool. And to do that, we stick our sword in that cog. And gotta douse the flames with water. Pick up the sword again. Back up, whoops. And hit this a bunch. A lot of swords will fly out. This guy really likes swords for some reason, so he's gonna send a bunch of them at us. And how this boss works is in 3 phases. This is the first phase. It's really simple. Just beat up all the swords. And one thing to note here is that my reset button does not work. So I cannot take a death on purpose to reset the timer. And I'm going to need to because like I said, this boss has 3 phases. And the third phase is just a little bit too long. Oops, I don't want to get hit here. Third phase is just a little too long to beat first try. So we're going to take a death right on the start of the third phase. So we're able to get the full 60 seconds that we need in beating the boss. And how this phase works is he's going to spin his swords a bunch. And once he does that, we can hit one of them. And yeah, I just have to do it 2 more times. And then just hit him once more. Whoops. And we'll be good. And whoops. There we go. And then time's going to be coming up shortly. It's going to be on the toilet flush, which I'll let you know. Yeah, and we get here a bunch of explosions because why not? No more. And that's time. All right, that's Minit. Man, that run could have went way better, but happily get that done. Before I go, I just want to give a shout out to the Speed Peeps. Love you guys. And yeah, that's it for me. Hope everyone enjoys the rest of PACE. All right, bye.